All right, peaceful Shabbat, family. You know what I'm saying? Let's go in and make it happen. As promised, we're going to get into this Exodus. Reading out the Cepher. And this is the Second Cepher of Mosheh. The second book of Mosheh called Shemot. Alright, Shemot. Also called Exodus. And we're going to read it because it's time. Every time we keep saying, what's the solution? You know what I'm saying? People say, should we fight in the streets? Should we run? We see this stuff going down. Every day looks crazy. Exit, man. It's time to go. It's time to go when it's time to go. My time to go might not be your time to go. So don't ask for my time to go. Go on your time. You know what I'm saying? But understand that time is of an essence. That time doesn't, time shouldn't control you, right? So the first thing a slave does when you know you're a slave is you fight for your freedom, right? Or you exit. You're at a point right now where you ain't got to fight nobody to get back to the four corners. You ain't got to fight nobody to get to the wilderness, but you will. Oh, you will. So let's get to it. I'm on the balcony. It's hot, man. It's been hot. Whew. It's been hot today. So I got my juice. Got my water. You know what I mean? I got some nanas for hydration. That's about all I got in my crib. And I got my Cepher. Let's go. Now, I'm starting at chapter 1. We're just going to go for it. It's time to read, y'all. So, peaceful Shabbat to you. Let's go. Now, these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Mitzrayim. Every man in his household came with Yaquah, Reuben, Simon, Levi, Yahud, Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Yaquah were 70 souls. For Joseph was in Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim is Egypt already. So Joseph was in Egypt already. And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful, and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceedingly mighty. And the land was filled with them. Now there arose up a new king over Mitzrayim, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on and let us deal wisely with them. So when they say wisely, they mean slaughter. The same way these people mean today. They deal wisely with us, because if they did not slaughter us, then they would have no chance to subjugate us, right? So they had to slaughter most of us, right? 95% of us. Then they could control the remaining and put us into slavery and tell us we came from Africa and put us on boats to Africa when they found us copper-colored races here. So he said, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, right? And it came to pass, when there falls out any war, they join also unto our enemies. That's really the drop. They're like, man, these people are too mighty, too much, and we will have to fight our enemies. And clearly, they are subjugating us, so we're not going to fight on their side. So they're like, man, we don't want them to join another army. So they might fight against us, and so get them up out of the land, right? Therefore did they set over the taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasured cities, Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because the children of Israel. And Mitzrayim made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field, and all their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. And the king of Mitzrayim spoke to the Ivri midwives. Ivri. They spell it with a V, right? But that V is that Yiddish, right? So Hebrew, Eber, right? So you go back to Hebrew. That's why this Hebrew stuff, you know what I'm saying? Hebrew. You know what I mean? So that's what I do like about this book makes an attempt, you know what I'm saying, to try to get closer to the vibration. But we still got some ways to go. So, and the king of Mizraim spoke to every midwives, the Hebrew midwives, and made the name of one, and which the name was Shifra, and the name of the other was Puah. And he said, when you do the office of midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them up the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. So we understand here, based on this translation, that these were the Hebrew midwives, not the Egyptian midwives, right? It says, and the king of Mitzrayim spoke to the Hebrew midwives, right? Right here. Right there. Can you get it? Okay. So, these Hebrew midwives, which makes sense, right? Because they're trusted in the Hebrew households. And these people are mighty, right? So it said, and he said, when you do the office of the midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son when they're having a kid, kill him. But a daughter shall live. But the midwives feared Elohim, and did not as the king of Mitzrayim commanded. These Hebrew women knew that. I ain't about to start slaughtering Hebrew babies. I fear the Most High. So, and did not as the king of Mitzrayim commanded them, but saved the men, children alive. And the king of Mitzrayim called for the midwives and said unto them, why have ye done this thing, and have saved the men, children alive? And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Mitzrayim women. These Hebrew women are not the same as the Egyptian women. Let's just pontificate that for a second. Excuse me, y'all. I was doing good. I got like a big pile of dust just flew over my balcony and just been jamming me up, but I'm good. I'm good. So I got my water. Wata. Alright, so these midwives feared and did not as the king of Mitzrayim commanded. I'm in verse 18. And the king of Mitzrayim called for the midwives and said unto them, why have you done this thing, and have saved the men, children alive? And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Mitzrayim women. These Hebrews are not like the Egyptian women, for they are lively. What does that mean? For they are lively. That means the Egyptian women are not lively. What does it mean? For they are lively and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them. And are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them. That's interesting. So, for they are lively and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them. Therefore, Elohim dealt with the midwives, and the people multiplied, dealt well with the midwives. So, bless them. He said, all right. You know what I'm saying? You know better. All right. So, all right, I'm going to deal well with you guys. And the people multiplied and waxed very mightily. And it came to pass, because the midwives feared that he made them houses. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born ye shall cast into the river, and every daughter ye shall save alive. And there went a man out of the house of Levi, and took to be his woman a daughter of Levi. And the woman conceived and bore a son. So two Levi, tribal people, man and woman, bear a son. And when she saw him, that he was a goodly child, she hid him. All right, this goodly child, right? She hid him 3 months. And when she could not longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes, and daubed it with slime and with pitch, and put the child therein. And she laid it in the flags by the river's brink. And his sister stood afar off to witness what would be done to him. So the sister was watching. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself. The daughter of Pharaoh. Now, I don't know what the other translations, I've heard the wife of Pharaoh, different things, but this says the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself, and her maidens walked along by the river's side. And when she saw the ark among the flags, she sent her maid to fetch it. And when she had opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the babe wept. And she had compassion for him, and said, This is the one of the Ephraim children. This is the one of the Ephraim children. So that's why I'm reading this again with fresh eyes, because a lot of stuff I didn't catch, and maybe this translation is making it clear. This is the one of the Hebrew children. So before, I remember, maybe I'm wrong, but I remember it being a wife of Pharaoh, or Pharaoh's wife, coming down, finding Moses in the basket, and then she just felt bad for him, so they took him in. This daughter of Pharaoh is saying, this is the one. The one what? The one that would save his people. So you telling me that the daughter automatically knew that this is the one? Like Neo, like that's the one right there. The goodly child. That's why the mother was hiding him. That's why they had to keep him alive. Read it yourself. Just pause it right here. Read this paragraph right there. All right. Interesting. Hey, is that the right one? Yeah. You got that paragraph right there. All right, make sure I had it right. I'm twisting myself up. So the daughter opens, the joint. The baby weeps. She feels bad. She says she had compassion on him and said, This is the one of the Ephraim children, Hebrew children. Then said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter. All right, so then Moses' sister talked to Pharaoh's daughter, according to this Cepher. This is interesting. I didn't know why I wanted to read this today, but now I could tell this is only the beginning of so much coming out of this. This is the one of the Ephraim children. Then said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter, Shall I go and call to you a nurse of the Ephraim women, that she may nurse the child for you? And Pharaoh's daughter said, Go to her, go. And the maid went and called the child's mother. The maid, no. It says, then said his sister. So Moses' sister followed Moses wherever to make sure he was straight. Pharaoh's daughter came, opened it, felt bad. She knew automatically that this is the one. This is the one of the Ephraim children, right? This sentence right here in my thumb, right here. Read that. The Ephraim. Right? And that's supposed to be Hebrew, right? That's how these translations work. That's why you got to keep going back. So you can get the drop. Alright, let's try to get to this chapter. And it's only the beginning, man. We're going to get to this Exodus because it's time to make another Exodus. And some drop might be in this Exodus. As you know, the Most High says, this next Exodus, man, y'all not even going to say, man, you are the Most High that took me out of Egypt, man. You're going to say, man, you're the Most High, man, of this Exodus. That's how special and beautiful and powerful this particular Exodus has already been prophesied to be. So we're going back for the babies. Literally, right? So the baby comes, Pharaoh's daughter fetches it. Now, Moses' sister follows this child, and then she goes to Pharaoh's daughter and says, all right, I see you found, a Hebrew child. Maybe I should find a Hebrew woman to nurse it. Because she knows she wants to get her mother to go nurse her son, Moses. And that's the drop. So now she got the daughter, Moses' sister, goes and gets his mom by order of Pharaoh's daughter to go nurse Moses, right, in Pharaoh's house. You know what I'm saying? So Pharaoh's daughter said, go to her, go. And the maid went and got, or the daughter went and got the child's mother. And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, take this child away and nurse it for me, and I will give you your wages. So now the mother, see the drop? Now Moses' mother is now getting paid to nurse her son. Man, that's drop right there. All right. I mean, according to what I'm getting from this, you let me know. And the maid went and got the child's mother, and Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, take this child away and nurse it for me, and I will give you your wages. And the woman took the child and nursed it, and the child grew, and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. Whoa! So the mother nursed the child, so she just took the so the daughter didn't even really take the kid in. She just kind of got duped by Moses' sister to go get Moses' mother to nurse the child. So now Moses' mom is getting paid to nurse her own kid, her own child, and the child grows up with the mother, and now they're getting paid because the daughter doesn't understand that that's his mother. That's the drop, but she does know that he's the one of the Ivrim. He's the one of the Hebrews. He's the one. She said it for himself. I knew that this was the one, right? Right here. It's a big book. Read this paragraph right there. I know that I'm not a lot of light. Let me get it for you. The one. See where my finger's at? Read that. There you go. That's that verse 5. Pause it and read all that. Okay, so the daughter knew that this is the one. Now the child grew and she brought him back. So the mom then brought the child back to Pharaoh's house once the child had grew up and became strong. So he was nursed with his mom, and then she brought him back as promised to the Pharaoh's daughter to the house, right? The child grew and she brought him back to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son, right? Pharaoh's daughter's son, okay? And she called his name Mosheh. So that's not his name, but he was called Mosheh. And she said, because I drew him out of the water. So that has to do with water. And then you got him splitting the waters, right? So now you see how the Most High worked. And it came to pass in those days when Moshe was grown that he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens, and he spied a Mitzri, or a Egyptian, smiting an Ivri, a Hebrew, one of his brethren. He's Ivri. And he took, verse 12, chapter 2, and he took this way and that way, and when he saw that there was no man, and he looked this way and that way. When he saw there was no man, he slew the Mitzri, he slew the Egyptian, and hid him in the sand. I didn't get all this from King James Version. So Moses hid this guy in the sand after he looked around and said, man, it's a wrap for you, man. You've been beating up my people, man. So I'm going to go ahead and make this happen for you. He buried the dude in the sand. And he went out on the second day. Behold, 2 men of the Ivrim strove together. So 2 Hebrews strove together. And he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smite you your fellow? So Moses said to these guys, why you jamming each other up? And he said, who made you a prince and a judge over us? So the Hebrew guys look at Moses like, man, you ain't no judge over us. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about our business, man. Do you intend to kill me as you killed the Mitzri? And Moses feared and said, surely this thing is known. So he didn't even know that they knew that he slaughtered the Egyptian. But once he tried to break up the fight with his Hebrew brothers, they're like, man, you ain't no judge over us, man. You know what I'm saying? What you going to do, kill us like you killed the Egyptian? And Moses said, man, they got the drop on that. So now when Pharaoh heard of this thing, he sought to slay Moses. So remember, Moses was raised as Pharaoh's daughter's son. So when Pharaoh heard that Moses slayed the Egyptian and buried him in the sand, he wanted to kill Moses. All right. The Prince of Egypt is like, different, right? The animated movie, my kids still like that, man. So it's like, you thinking Pharaoh just had Moses back. Pharaoh did not. Pharaoh wanted to kill Moses. He wanted to slay Moses. But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. So why was Moses running? Because Pharaoh was going to kill his ass for killing the Egyptian. Because Pharaoh knew he wasn't his son. He's a Hebrew. Pharaoh knew that. So he's like, all right. So Moses knew that his time in that kingdom was really short. Like, you know what I mean? He wasn't, he was going to die there. It wasn't like he just made a choice and was like, yeah, all right, I'm not an Egyptian no more. He knew he was Hebrew. He was raised by his Hebrew mother. His mother was getting paid for the drop. You know what I mean? But he was still in the house of Pharaoh. But when he killed the Egyptian and buried him in the sand, he feared for his life. And so he fled to Midian. Verse 16, now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. And the shepherds came and drove them away, but Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock. And when they came to Reuel, their father, he said, how is it that ye are come so soon today? You know what I'm saying? How'd y'all come back so fast? And they said, a Mitzray delivered us out the hands of the shepherds, an Egyptian, and also drew water enough for us and watered the flock. And he said unto his daughter, and where is he? Why is it that ye have left that man? Call him, that he may eat bread. And Moshe was content to dwell with the man, and he gave Moshe Zipporah his daughter, and she bore him a son, and he called his son Gershom. For he said, I have been a stranger in a strange land. And it came to pass in process of time that the king of Mitzrayim died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage, and they cried, and their cry came up unto Elohim, unto Heah, by reason of the bondage. And Heah heard their groaning, and Heah remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Yaquah. And Elohim looked upon the children of Israel, and Heah had respect unto them. So Heah looked down, and he had respect unto them, respect unto them, respect unto them, respect unto their suffering. He said, man, your fathers put you in this position, but I respect the fact that you guys are still fighting it out, and you're still here. You know what I'm saying? That's a couple of chapters. We're now at chapter 3. It gets even more vibrant as the story continues. But this is our beginning work, our beginning reading in this particular Shemot, book of Exodus. The Second Cepher, the second book of Mosheh. And what we see right there, man, is that the Most High will respect us. He will respect us. He will hear us. He has heard us. He hears the groaning. What did he say? And Heah looked up upon the children of Israel, and Elohim, Heah, had respect unto them. He said, Israel sighed by reason of their bondage. Are you not sighing? Are you not crying out saying, I'm tired of being enslaved? I'm tired of working on these plantations. I don't care if I'm getting paid a lot or not. It's not my kingdom. I can't give it as an inheritance. I can't give this nice job to my children. All I can do is try to save money and keep up with the Joneses. But that's hard to do, paying these taxes and all this stuff. This is not my kingdom, but I am on my land. I say it again. This is not your kingdom, but you are on your land. So where's your kingdom? If you're on your land and you're not in your kingdom, isn't that a problem? So aren't you groaning, right? Aren't you groaning? It says the children were groaning, and they cried, and their cry came up unto Heah by reason of their bondage. Egypt means bondage. By reason of their bondage. That's why the pyramid's on the back of the dollar. Slave vibration. Bondage. And Heah heard their groaning and remembered his covenant with Abraham. Remembered it. He heard the groaning. First, you need to groan. See, it's all reactionary. What's the action? You pray, you cry out. You tell your father to remember you. Remember his covenant with Abraham. Remember his covenant with David. Remember his covenant with the Ephraim, with the Hebrew, with with his heritage, his ruach, his breath. Remember your breath. Remember the order. But first, you need to get in order. You think he's going to hear you if you're out of order? Nah, man. You need to get in order. You need to get in order. We all need to get in order. Order, order, order. And in the name of order, let's go to Exodus 20 and close it out. And Elohim, Heya, spoke all these words, saying, I am Heya. They say Yahuwah Elohika. I say Heya, which have brought you out the land of Mitzrayim, out the house of bondage. And you shall have no other Elohim before me, no other gods. Rule number 1, no gods. Let's go through order. Tell me if this is done away with. Should you put another power before your source, before your power, the one that breathed into you? Should there be another power hijacking you? Yes or no? No? Okay, so that stands. I guess that shouldn't be done away with. Rule number 1, have no other God before me. Rule number 2, you shall not make any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath the earth. Oh, here's a globe. Here's your world. Here's the likeness of your world. Above and below. Here's your whole world. You know what I mean? Here's your images. Why I have no images? Because this stuff is energy. This stuff is alive. It can hijack you. You don't want to be hijacked. No images or any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above or the earth beneath, that's in the water underneath the earth. Number 3, you should not bow down. You should not bow down yourself to them, nor serve them, for I am Heya, a jealous God, a jealous El, visiting the iniquity of the fathers unto the children, unto the 3rd and 4th generations of them that hate me. If you hate Heya, what do? You disregard what he says, right? I have children. If they listen, they love me. If they don't listen, they hate me. When you don't listen and you don't honor your father and your mother, you don't keep what Heya says true, his vibration real, then you're hating on him. You're hating him. And what does he say that he's going to do? When you bow down and you put your energy into other things and into other things that hate him, you say you're Christian, but these Christians hate the seed of Israel. That's why no preacher is preaching about the seed and waking these people up to their seed. That's reality, your seed, your energy, your frequency, your vibration. Preachers aren't waking you up to that. They're just saying, hey, you know what I'm saying, pray, man, and keep tithing, man, and all this stuff. Tithes are cool. Tithes are Old Testament. Tithes are the old law, but the law is done away with. Tithing is not a new thing, new concept in the New Testament. Tithing is an old law, but that law is not done away with. They get rich off of tithing, but nah, your commandments are done away with, right? Don't have no other power before me. That's done away with, right? Don't make no likeness of any graven images. Is that done away with? All right? Don't bow down to them. You know what I'm saying? Because the Most High is a jealous El, meaning that you would be too. How do you feel when your children call another daddy daddy? Doesn't that burn you up? Why wouldn't it burn up your father? Yes, yeah, he gets pissed off about that. You would too, right? And that's what we've been doing. And he visits the iniquity, the sins. What's sin? Sin is breaking the covenant. Christians say, forgive my sins. But what is sin? Sin is breaking the covenant, breaking the law. There is no law. There is no sin. So law can't be done away with, or sin will be done away with. Visiting those of the fathers of the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation that hate me, that don't listen. Why did he allow our slaughter? Because he visits the iniquities of the fathers unto the children, upon the children, unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate him, that don't listen. And showing mercy, here's the other part, showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me. Millions, thousands. Only thousands might really make this particular vibrational shift here, man. Only thousands, man. It might not be millions. It's probably going to be thousands. Real talk. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and guard my commandments. What? My commandments. What? Guard my commandments. Say no. The commandments are not done away with. Honoring your father and mother. Why would that be done away with? Who would tell you that but your enemy? Someone that hates you, right? You shall not take the name of Heya in vain. Of course, they say Yahuwah, right? I'm gonna get off track, but they say Yahuwah, and this is coming from people that I consider your enemies. These are people that, are putting this together, but they are not truly telling you who you are, so they are against you, but yet they want to be more righteous, so they try to put these names in there. But would they have the drop on your name? Huh? Would your elders really have the drop on your name 40, 50 years ago? Or has that been sealed? Like the book of Daniel says, these things are sealed, man, until the end times, the real end times. Are we not in the real end times? So why are we trying to, subdue the information, subdue the knowledge, subdue the energy that's making us alive again? When we can see right here, we can look up I am and look up, our Strong's Concordance, or we could look up that primitive root word and understand heya means breath. It means vibration. That's how I would teach a young buck. I would take him to the dictionary and say, look at all these meanings of this primitive root word. Does that represent all that exists or not? Heya, the breath. Then I would let him hear the chants. The war chants, the peace chants. Heya, heya, heya. Heya, heya, heya. All right. You shall not take the name Heya in vain, for Heya will not hold him guiltless that takes his name in vain. Remember, all right? I think this is number 5. Remember the day of the holy Shabbat. 6 days shall you labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is the Shabbat of Heya Heya. In it you shall not do any work, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your manservant, nor your maidservant, nor your cattle shouldn't even be working. Nor your stranger that's just chilling with you in your gates should not be working. For in 6 days Heya made the heavens and the earth and the sea and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore Yahuwah, they say, I say Heya Heya. Blessed the day of the Shabbat and hallowed it. And again, don't say Creator, say Most High. You know what I mean? If don't create no stumbling blocks. You know what I mean? I refuse to just say a name of a title that has been just passed around and everyone uses and says. I mean, would the name of the Creator be the most popular name? What's the most popular name in the Hebrew community or in the community of the Most High? Yah, right? Hey, Yahweh, Yahweh, all this stuff. Would the name of the Creator be popular, or would it be pure water? Would it be the most popular name that everybody's using, or would it be the narrow road? You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's that narrow road. There's very few people on that, and to me, that's symbolizing a new breath, a new energy, and it's a primitive root word. One primitive verb. Heya. Go back to the frequency of Heya so you can get into all the beautiful breadth of definitions, that really break down your entire story. To be, to become, to be established, to break, to rebuild. All in the primitive verb Heya. Alright? Heya, heya. I am. I am, I am. I am that I am. I am Heya. And I keep saying it because I don't want us to take the name in vain, the energy in vain. The more we get back into Heya Heya, the more we get back into our vibration. You know what I'm saying? But that's hard for you right now. Just use Creator, Most High, be simple about it. It's not a fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to debate with anybody I love over anything, But you share it, we all share. Remember the day of the Holy Shabbat, all right? So, boom. All right, is that done away with? A day out of the week to meditate and understand that you are the vibration of your Father? Is that done away with? They take a day aside. He didn't say go to church. He didn't say go out to eat after church. Oh, but we keep Sunday, but then you go out to eat. And you break the Shabbat because you're not supposed to be using their commerce. All right, so who does it benefit when you, go out to eat? All right, you're supporting the kingdom that's against you. All right, but one day out the week, man, you should not do that. Now, who does that benefit? It benefits you. They hate that because they want all these black people to spend money after church. But if all black people stop spending all this money in food places and doing all this stuff in Christmas and all their holy days, their holidays, their holy days, their holidays, their holy days, their holidays, you're giving energy and commerce and all this stuff into it, their Christmas. And you single-handedly are making it happen because you love your kids, but you don't love them enough just to, teach them correctly. You can always give gifts properly. You can always do that. You don't need their day to give gifts. I give my children gifts when they're good. How about that? So you got the Shabbat. All right. So for in 6 days, Heya made the heavens and the earth and the sea and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore Heya blessed the day of the Shabbat and hallowed it. This was hallowed. When you read Jubilees, they were keeping this day. The angels, the two highest orders of angels kept this day, and it was given as a gift to us because we have his Ruach. It's a gift, but it's done away with. Is it? Search your Ruach. 6, honor your father, your mother, that your days may be long. When you listen, when your father, your mother, they're in tune, they're in order, you listen to order, you learn order, your days will be longer. Very simple. Upon the land which Heya gives you, you shall not kill. All right, 7, you shall not kill. You shall not break wedlock. All right, breaking wedlock, they're saying, this is their translation of it. I guess that's the adultery aspect of it. Just going around doing your own fornication thing and just say, I'm spreading my seed anywhere without any order. No, that's chaos. You just got a bunch of seeds with no order, no house. All right. Of course, they had many wives. Some had one, some had a few, some had many, right? David had hundreds, right? So that was their house. That was their kingdom. That's their alliance. All right. We'll get into that. You shall not steal. I believe that's 8. You shall not steal. All right. Is that done away with? Is not fornicating done away with? Should we just fornicate? Should we just start stealing? Should we just start disrespecting our mother and father? Who told you your commandments? Who told you the commandments of hey are done away with? The Christians, right? You learn that as a Christian. You learn that, just believe in Jesus and love, right? That's it. And now the Gentiles benefit, right? Because they can do whatever they want to do. But this was punishable by death. You get caught not honoring your father and mother, it's curtains, right? It's curtains. All right? So you shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. What does that mean? That means, man, he's not keeping the Sabbath, man, when you know he is. And then if it's more than one of y'all bearing false witness, y'all get that brother killed. Or he slept with his wife and you know he didn't. Or he stole and you know he didn't, right? Then now, you know what I'm saying, it could be a death sentence to that brother. So don't bear false witness against your neighbor, your brother. All right, this was a community thing. He wasn't talking about how you treat the Gentile. He's talking about how you deal with each other, how you deal with your brother, all right? How you keep each other strong so you're trusting each other in your community. Almost, let's go. Almost there. All right, so you should not bear false witness against your neighbor. You should not covet your neighbor's house. You should not covet your neighbor's woman, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, his donkey, nor anything that's your neighbor's. In other words, don't try to jack none of his stuff. Don't try to take none of your brother's stuff. Is that done away with, Christians? Are your laws done away with? Or is this how you tune an entire community to 432? Is this how you tune an entire community to the vibration above the firmament? Does this make sense to stand as a government, as a governance, as laws for a government, to govern by, a community to vibrate? Wouldn't you want to live in a community that doesn't cover your neighbor's house, that you should not cover your neighbor's woman? Isn't that a good community to live in, if you can leave and your wife's not being coveted, and if she is, that person's being put to death? You could leave your doors open because you cannot steal. Your children have to respect you, have to honor the father, their mother. As a community, we can shut it down. We can eat and relax. Everybody gets the day off, man. Even the servants get the day off. And again, you'd rather serve this kingdom, right, than the kingdom that doesn't have these laws, because then they're just going to be lynching you at will. Right? You seen The Purge. Shout out to Smiles. And all the people, the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the shofar and the mountain smoking. When the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. And they said unto Moshe, speak with us and we will hear, but let not Heya speak with us lest we die. He's just got too much power, man. And Moshe said unto the people, fear not, for Heya is come to prove you. Have you not been proven? Or do you still need to be proven in Jacob's trouble? Some of us still need to be proven in Jacob's trouble. and some of us have been proven. We don't know, right? But we got to be ready for whatever. We got to suit up. We got to stay up. We got to choose up. And this is a little bit of that Exodus. We will be back with more. So I love you. Thanks for vibing. I love reading. I love reading with you guys. We got a lot to read, but again, go to Let Us Find the Truth, man. And you know what I'm saying? I believe it's .wix, W-I-X. But, you know, I will leave the link under here. So click that link and just click on books, and you'll get so many resources, man. Download them. Get into it. Start reading and start understanding that there is a third option. People say, man, you know, should we just pray our way through this, you know, do nothing? Should we fight, or should we actually make our exodus, you know? And I say it's time to make an exodus. I love y'all. Stay up.